Hello, this is Tam the TamBoTC channel, just playing a little Hitman, but while I'm playing Hitman, I'll talk more about Star Wars, and just like this will relate to like pretty much like all the industries. So I talked about in my previous video how I feel, and I'm sure others probably do too, that a lot of the different corporations, gaming industries, movie companies and so on are all treating us with disrespect, whether it's through means of how they made The Last Jedi or just lack of intelligence either put into the movie when it comes to the writing and character development, thinking that we're too dumb to need like really like enough developed characters. A lot of the characters in The Last Jedi, and especially a lot of newer games like the Destiny games and Battlefront games. Alright, shut up, lady. Really don't have much effort. And, run 47. I hate, like, the advertisements have been, like, lies, kind of like Halo 5 and such. A lot of games recently, too, have amounted up mostly to being big disappointments. Even now, there are some people, like, coming out in the open saying, like, even though I think it's even happened before, but, like, Fallout 4 is a disappointment. Metal Gear Solid 5 was a disappointment. I saw the Gaming Brit show talk about that. Then there's... Oh, came out the same side. Can I not close it? There's no door here. What the heck? What are you looking at? And then, like, of course, Halo 5 is a big disappointment. Halo 4 to a bunch of people, it's a disappointment. A lot of the storytelling hasn't been as good as it used to be. Here's the things that I noticed with Star Wars. I'm gonna kinda do a kill everyone challenge anyways, in this game. But, yeah, a lot of storytelling has been really bad, and there's been so many awful movies lately. Ooh.
Big dough, man. Some people always get their way.
Hello.
That what?
You didn't see anything. Anyways, yeah, there's a lot of things, and I hate everything like compared certain things to the Empire. He talked about let's take this for example, where he talked about how a lot of work and effort went into Last Jedi, except for the story and the character development. Like, I feel like games nowadays is like somebody puts hard work into a lot of the graphics and the art, music and such, and then whoever is the writer behind the story, made the writers for the story and characters, just come up to them and are like, wow, you put a lot of hard work into that. Here's a 4-hour campaign that's mediocre and sucks.
These bodies.
Just do some. We're going to add your pretty graphics to it and make it deceiving. Sorry. 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 Anyways, where was I? But yeah, a lot of, like, we have the technology to make better, like, appealing to the audience when it comes to just the graphics alone. And that could be, in a way, could be used to deceive people when they do trailers. Like, just look at The Last Jedi trailer and Halo 5 trailers. They've all lied to us. And then there's Destiny 2 as well. A lie in themselves. It's really stupid.
You're gonna regret this.
I didn't do anything, officer. I swear. Have a rubber ducky.
He's freaking gone. Hey, buddy, stop it right there. Did you do this? In here, we lost.
No, I didn't.
Something detonated in proximity. We could have
Hold on.
extremists on our hands.
Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, a lot of the work that goes into games.
On the stairs. Target hit. Target hit.
Okay, they heard that. Crud. My camera views switched. There you go. I kind of forget the controls a little bit. So forgive me if I seem rusty.
He's right there. He's
No, I'm not. Ooh, I punched that guy in the crotch. And now he's dead. He won't feel it anyway. What the?
No!
Anyways, let's reload this. But yeah, I just don't feel like there's as much thought put into, like, or just people are losing their creativity. Whoops. Okay. But yeah, it's just been like the lazy factor has been mostly in the writing and character development than there has like anything else. Everything else has been fine, I'll agree. The graphics look amazing, the CGI is awesome. But do we come to expect that in this day and age? We've improved our graphical designs and such, our art, how we perceive it. And we have much more complex, like, there can be really, like, complex stories. Just look at the stuff in Dark Souls and The Witcher 3. It's crazy. But we get less of that because we kind of let these companies, we lend our money to these companies in a way, and they just don't put effort into it because they know they can just get away with some of this stuff and rip us off technically.
Holy shit! I need help!
You need help. I think you all need help.
Done anything? Oh my God.
How are you not dead? Anybody want something to eat? Hello, sir.
Hey, you! An eye for an eye, you murdering son of a...
You were saying? Shut up. And calm the heck down. Ooh. I'll take that. Anybody in here? I'm just being a murdering psychopath while I'm talking about Star Wars and movies just not being the way, like, being as well developed as I used to when it comes to the,
What the hell?
like,
That's gonna...
story design. It's sad when the stinking theorists can make better written stories and thought out stories than they can. And it's obvious and clear that they knew what they were doing and had direction. Not only from all the excuses and things they've been saying, but
Put those hands up. No sudden moves. Oh my God.
Yep, you should be worried. Oh, you had a coin on him. Awesome.
What? Hey.
That's what I think of that.
This isn't happening. This isn't happening. Over there.
But yeah, it's just been really hectic with all the games and movies we've had lately. And I've even, like, I thought I try to find movies and games to compare, like, their stories. if there's like a game or a movie that does the character development no justice, just as much as the new Star Wars movies do, where it's just like they have character development, and they do have something more to them. Like they have an arc, but it's not a very good arc, not very well thought out, and there's like a lot of loose ends left here and there. And I wanted to say, I didn't get to say this in my last video, that I feel like the other thing with what I Hate Everything said was that the ending was left on a cliffhanger. I feel like that's not only the build-up for the next movie, and that's not a bad thing, because the next movie wasn't bad. It was awesome, Return of the Jedi. But I think it had less loose ends and problems with it, how it told its story, than The Last Jedi. Like, really all there was left open was how they were going to beat the Empire and find Han Solo, and one of those don't count because Harrison Ford didn't even want to be playing Han Solo at that time. He wanted his character killed off, but he returned anyway, and now he's in the new movies. And he's probably glad he's not going to be in part of any of the other movies, because it sucked. And you can't say the new movies are bad, because first off, the prequels have aged, and they have goofy stuff in them, but I felt like they had a direction that made more sense, and actually felt like it was going somewhere a little more satisfying. It knew where it was going, mostly telling the story. Oh, you're not dead. Jeez. Telling the story of Anakin Skywalker and how he turned to the dark side. Why is she not dead? Jeez. Anyways. But there was a lot of stupid stuff. And there was kind of explanation. I mean, I Hate Everything's kind of right about the Force not being explained in the originals, but he's kind of wrong too, because it's explained more as through, like, as a feeling, the Force. As well as the Force is almost explained more like, kind of like how gravity is explained and stuff, as like a literal force that holds everything together, or controls everything. Oh, is this my... Oh, I didn't know it was in here. Where's that coming from? Come in here. No, in here.
We got multiple.
Silence too. At least it should be. Got 2 targets over there. But yeah, the Force is explained more through a feeling, and if you listen to like how Yoda and Obi-Wan, it's mostly through like how they're training them too. Where Rey didn't get that, and I felt like every time somebody mentions a good character in the new Star Wars, it's the only good characters. That being Ren and Finn, but even they have major problems that make their arcs make no sense. I missed that sticking guy, but that's alright. He's just a civilian. He's nobody. You see all these people that I'm killing? Just think of them as fans of the new Star Wars movies. No, just joking. No, you can still like the new movie. I'm not saying it's horrible, but that's the problem with a lot of games and movies nowadays, is you just like, you can't say they're bad because their quality and their graphics and art are amazing, but you come to expect that with the graphics we have nowadays. So it's nothing new. Oh my goodness. Yeah. But yeah, it's just like they're lazy in every other department of the game and or movie and how they tell their story. That I felt like the reason Luke was still alive was to build up the conflict with Kylo Ren, as well as his, he always talks about, mentions how he wants to let go of the past, or that Rey should. Yet he failed at that, and that became pointless. And Luke was the one thing that showed his weakness of not letting go of that past, even though he's saying the exact opposite. If Luke faked, like, I liked that part if Luke was there as just a illusion or whatever, because then it upset Kylo Ren, but it'd also just be like, hold on, dude. Here we go.
Oh my God!
Oh, I didn't even have it out. Let's drop this silly gun since it's got no more ammo. There we go. And pull out the knife. But yeah. What is this music? Yeah, it would have made his arc a little better if he was still around, because then he'd have a reason to stick around and bother to find Luke. Like, that was basically the whole premise of both films, and it still was, and now he just dies like a fart. I just love that, seeing everybody quoting how he dies like a fart in their videos, so I'm going to quote it too, because he literally does die like a fart in the wind. But yeah, it's just really embarrassing how they end it all off. It's just really stupid. They need new writers or something, because clearly they don't know what they're doing. They do know what they're doing, but it's really disgusting what they're doing, because it's clear that they're making making people look stupid by saying their theories and opinions are wrong. And as well as how they treated, like, Rey's parents scene was pretty obvious too. Where are you? Why don't you come over here so we can talk? Here you go. Oh, you had a coin on you. Thank you. Anyways, I have a bunch of money. Maybe I can buy an ice cream soon. I just need to get more money. But anyways, that's mainly just like most of the writing of these games and movies has just been horrible lately. And they don't care. They don't put effort into it, and they want to charge us more. I'm not going, like, story isn't the most important thing. Gameplay is when it comes to a game, but when it comes to a movie, you literally have to have a good story, or you're just gonna, you have a dumb movie. And none of the story elements to the movie, because you can't interact with a movie like you can a game. You can't. So it just becomes forgettable, and I think The Last Jedi will be the most forgettable Star Wars. They're mediocre because they're still of high quality, but they have the worst story and character arcs. Sorry to break up your relationship, but that's how I felt during Last Jedi. It's like the most divisive movie I've ever gone to. I came out of that theater the first time I saw it just like, wait, there was somebody that was dead there, and they were sitting there, and they just left it as a body bag. Well, that's weird. Somebody's been working here. Alright, there's gotta be some sort of guard around here. There's gotta be. Like, shut up. I'm surprised I'm not dead yet.
By the stairs.
Yep, he is. So you just saw that. You had the question mark on your head like quite a while ago. And you just saw that. You're an idiot. But it's really sad how a lot of these movies are turning out. So, like, and he compared to, like, King Arthur and stuff, but The Last Jedi goes in that same, it's not worse than those movies. I would say it's slightly better than those, definitely, but not by much. It's still mediocre. It's really sad. And I feel like when it comes to a lot of the graphics nowadays, we not only are used to it and conditioned to just to to acknowledge that this is what we're going to get now for movies, but that doesn't mean we don't stand up for it. Even though I don't think when it comes to it, I Hate Everything does have a point when it comes to the fans overreacting and such, but it's also a step in the right direction in terms of making sure that movies with not much effort put into like story, as well as you have to think about, you're paying money to see these, so is it going to be worth your money to buy on DVD, Blu-ray, or just to go see more than once?
With this day. He's right there.
Like, you'll have fun, there's no doubt about that. You're going to have fun even with bad games and such. But that doesn't mean that it's not mediocre or awful or anything. It's got several problems. And just having the story go absolutely nowhere is definitely one of them. Where are you going? Where are you going, lady? Get back here. Get back here.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Take that, dink. I'm just being a psychopath. This reflects us fans perfectly. No, just joking. But yeah. I've been meaning to come back to this game and try to complete its challenges and such, so I've been having fun with this game, even though I've been brutally killing everyone like a psychopath, like I just said. He's right there! Hey. But that's...
I have several homicides.
Oh, hi. But yeah, you already heard the other things too, like, there's a lot more work that goes into the older Star Wars. Mostly practical effects, where CGI is the reliant thing. As well as you can tell, the acting isn't very good, so they haven't put much effort into acting coaches with the actors and actresses they have. And we come to expect, like, Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher to be good. They're professionals. As well as now we have, like, Episode 9 is just going to make... You know how Last Jedi made Force Awakens look even worse because it didn't fulfill its plot lines, like, really in any kind of way that was good? I don't know how to say satisfying, because you would think to expect that they want the theories to be right, but I don't care if the theories are right or wrong. At least, like, tell it better than that. It's kind of like they mad-libbed the movie and was like, you know, we don't have anything interesting to do with this character, even though anybody else could make anything more interesting than us to write Snoke, so he doesn't seem like another generic Emperor Palpatine character. So let's write him halfway through the movie as a generic Emperor Palpatine character, and then kill him off because we're not very brilliant at our storytelling. Let's do the same with Phasma too. She's pretty generic, at least from what we wrote of her. And then they even, like, quote lines that are problems with their movies. It's like they're saying their own problems. Snoke saying, "You got beaten by a girl who never held a lightsaber before or trained with the Force." Are you quoting a problem with our movie? No. I mean, I'm totally not a generic emperor sitting in this big throne room. They totally couldn't have done something unique with my character at all. Totally. Yeah, you know what? You go on being your generic emperor self. I'm just gonna be over here being generic Darth Vader, whiny brat. And then actually getting actual character development, but having all my character development fall flat because we just destroyed every single thing that could have made it even more decent. So, yeah. We got nothing. And I just know it's going to be even more pointless when Episode 9 comes out and they possibly kill off my character and make everything they built up from that point pointless. Oh, did I also mention that the reason my character's so good was actually all by chance a mistake, because they were trying to make all the white male characters look like a bunch of idiots. Yeah. And failures. Yeah. We're kind of stupid looking now. So, how was your day? That's Star Wars Last Jedi in a nutshell, people. Thank you very much, and have a nice day. No, but this is probably... This is the most mediocre, stupid Star Wars movie I have ever seen. And just because it's Star Wars doesn't mean it gets away with its flaws. Like, the same can go with the originals as well. I'm not going to take the problems that the originals have, but at least they treated their fans with decency and respect and intelligence by giving us characters that actually have great written development and story. Dagnabbit. And I feel like even the Empire Strikes Back would have still done better than Last Jedi nowadays because of that. That it had better written characters. If Disney and Kathleen Kennedy weren't focused on like their messages and whatever, and then that they were focused like I'm not saying they shouldn't have any of their messages in, just make it so that they're not something that ruins the rest of the pacing of the movie and such. And it doesn't really ruin the pacing, as I Hate Everything also brought that out, but it definitely ruins like what they focus on when they're making the movie. They focus too heavily on their messages that they forgot any other plot points they were trying to bring out about the movie. So it just all falls apart. Excuse me. What?
You're gonna regret this.
Yes, I am, but not now. I regret that, the existence of Last Jedi, and that my friends can't see through its flaws. I literally had arguments with my friends where they were like, I was talking about how Snoke was a powerful character, even though it says he's not a Sith. And he has the same motivations as Ren, it's just he wants everybody with Force powers killed, basically. Where Ren wants Rey to join them. That's the only difference, really. Other than they made him look like a generic Emperor. But, yeah, it's just, there's so many, like, little flaws, and then they all connect to all these big flaws. And then it all falls flat in the end, and it's just like, none of it, all that build-up amounts to, like, nothing. It feels like you're watching the Mass Effect 3 ending, but if the Mass Effect 3 ending was made as part of several different plot points. Nope. But yeah, it's ridiculous. Every single plot point just falls apart. The burning of the Jedi temples was garbage. Character development, garbage.
Over there, right there.
Luke Skywalker's unlikable.
I'm not gonna touch it. You
There's...
check. He's over there.
Shut up. Alright. No, somebody's already packing up all these bodies. Shut up.
No, you don't.
What have you done? Are you insane? Kill someone like that. What the hell?
Oh, what the? Come and get me, copper. But yeah, that's basically all to say. I hope there was nothing... Like, if I had to say more, I'd go into a rant. I definitely have more to say when it comes to just the movie alone, but I basically just wanted to kind of make it clear what I'm saying, as well as, like, I feel like this is happening to all industries, and the reason that it is funny that Star Wars is getting the blunt of this, because even Star Wars games are getting the blunt of it, and they're not even the worst. Destiny 2 is worse with its microtransaction system and story and such than Battlefront 2 is. But yeah, Battlefront 2 is just awful anyways. But at least what it says is that this is the start of people actually standing up even if it's not entirely for the right thing, it at least shows these big companies that people aren't going to let them push them around or make them look stupid because they don't put enough time or effort into the story or character development. And I know I'm putting a big emphasis on that, but when it comes to a movie that is an importance, and like how you can tell it too, because you can't interact with a movie. A game, I'll let some of the story get away with it, even though it's still dumb in some cases. The reason like Destiny 2 doesn't work out for me as well as Battlefront 2 is because they're so mediocrely just boring. Like the gameplay is super repetitive, the AI is awful, and it just lacks a lot of content as well. I feel like Battlefront 2 lacks a lot of content, and they advertise themselves. I love how they're just like, oh, we're good because we actually have a campaign, and it's like, yeah, one that's 4 hours long, and you're probably not going to release the rest of it until like patches or updates are put on it, downloaded or whatever. But it's just really dumb how they go about this stuff, and it's happening everywhere. There's so many problems in the world today, but right now in my video, I'm just approaching just like the movie industries and game companies and all that. Corporation, evil corporate. And I find it funny that I Hate Everything didn't even touch on the possibilities behind like the tweets from like Ryan Johnson and what or the whatever, like, was it Facebook or something? I don't know. Where Mark Hamill said, basically, he takes back everything he said. I don't believe that for a second, as well as I don't believe that Disney didn't have a direction they were going. It's quite obvious, as well as they've shown that they're making just as much a childish fuss and excuses as the fans are. So I think they're, once again, both the fans and the industries are at fault. Or like Disney, as to be more clear about that, if they just shut up about it, and they would have just tried to go about it more adult-like. I don't know how to word that any other way, but if they were more adult and mature about what they were doing and saying, it probably would have gone over better. But since they still acted just as much as children, making excuses, changing their minds, saying different things, it's gone out the window. I would have defended you, Disney, but you already made yourself an idiot. A matter of fact, your movie still would have stunk, just at least the people behind the movie would have looked better. But they didn't do crud. Well, they did crud, but it was the wrong kind of crud, if you know what I'm saying. Excuse me? Excuse me? Hey. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy. I hope things get cleared out. There's a lot of problems. There's apparently a petition, as I I think I said in my last video, about people trying to get rid of The Last Jedi as canon, which is just hilarious. But yeah, I definitely think a lot of the fans are taking this a little too harsh. Like, just their complaints are really stupid. The reasoning for their complaints and such, and they're not like seeing the bigger pictures. But since also Disney is just being a bunch of idiots about it just as much, it's turned out worse for them. So, good job, Disney. You're a bunch of morons. You look like EA, you look like Activision, you look like all those dumb companies now. You just blend in with them. It's really sad that you had to be one of the companies. And you know what? I'm kind of done with Disney, because after Infinity War is done, Marvel's going to be basically nothing. They're not really going to have much more plot to go with, other than, oh, there's a new bad guy, beat him, then hero wins. Oh, and there's multiple parts to Infinity. I can't remember how much there is to Infinity War there's going to be. But once that's done, all there really is Well, Star Wars is trash, so I guess there's not that. But their animations, I don't think they have that great of animations. There's only been like a couple of good ones here and there. Like, I loved Zootopia, and I hear a lot of people like Frozen. I never saw Frozen, because it didn't really pique my interest. But yeah, a lot of there's not a whole lot of animations from them. Even Pixar has some awesome animations, but not as many as there used to be. And then there's all these other companies like DreamWorks and such. And there's just not much that appeals to me, at least. It's just kind of like Disney's become nothing now. They don't live up to all their other fantastical movies they had back in the day. So I'm sorry to say it, but I'm done with Star Wars. I might still see some of their stuff just to see it fall and fail, how dumb it is. But as well as to make a review on it as well. But besides that, I'm done. Just like I am with Destiny, I'm done with Disney and their garbage. So, even though I said I was probably going to watch this stuff anyway. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave comments below. And I'll see you next time. I'm sorry if this is just my opinion, so take it as just an opinion, not fact. Even though the stuff they've been saying and doing is fact, because it's on their social media pages. But, yeah. I hope things clear up. I hope something gets done. And I'm sad to see that, like, I hate everything. This is probably one of the lamest things he could defend, and his reasonings behind it was probably one of the lamest and weakest I've seen. I'm sorry to say. I love I Hate Everything. He helped me through a lot of stuff, but yeah. Ironically, not this time. So I'll see you guys next time. He's got a bigger amount of subscribers, so he could stick and have them attack me if he wanted, but then he'd probably look bad. and I don't know. And I'm not trying to directly attack him, I just really thought it would be clear to bring that out, because I know a lot of people are going to watch this video, and probably not many people are going to watch mine at all, but that it's still something important to get to, because then it could change people's minds. But a lot of the things that he talked about still have major flaws to them, I feel, and I wanted to point them out and why. So, and besides, a lot of these videos feel like they're not just opinions, but they're just us literally trying to tackle a situation. It's more like saying it's our opinion is more become an excuse at this point, in order to make sure people didn't say you're making it out as fact and all that garbage. But we're not, and we don't mean to. But yeah, it's basically almost come that way, where people have taken big-time YouTubers' thoughts and opinions as fact just as much as MatPat with reviews. And I think some people realize that when it comes to the videos they make, they realize that, but they still say it's just their opinion. They probably know just as well that people are going to take it as fact anyway. Just look how many subscribers there are, and how many people depend and even defend that person. They're going to... that ironically also goes into the negativity, I can't remember what it's called, bias, sorry, negativity bias. I think just like theories and what MatPat was talking about also goes into when a big-time YouTuber like Markiplier or PewDiePie make an opinion or something, or share one, a lot of people are going to listen and take it as fact just as much as a theory. So take mine whatever way you want. I'm not saying you should take it as a fact at all, but it's going to be hard nowadays, since anything could, and I feel like that's another reason why movies shouldn't be picked on the way that, at least Last Jedi, when in comparison to other movies, is because people have become so sensitive over so many subjects over the years. But whatever, I still think personally The Last Jedi was a huge failure. So I'll see you next time. Bye.